Hey Chiefs Kingdom, Harrison Graham here, back with another episode of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Go check out some St. Patrick's gear at chatsports.com/ChiefsGreen. Tons of different Chiefs St. Patty's Day themed items over there, shirts, socks, a whole bunch of stuff. We'll show you more specifics later on in the show. But we got to get to the news of the day, and that is, of course, Mitchel Schwartz having back surgery. Tweeted out just a couple of hours ago now that he is having back surgery. He was in the hospital bed, so it's very possible he is mid-surgery right now, depending on when you are watching this video. Now, we know with Schwartz, and I speculated this a couple of months ago, that this is what basically they tried to do. They were hoping the back would heal on its own. They were hoping he would be back for the later part of the season and on into the playoffs. That obviously didn't happen, and it sounded like the back never really got better. So now, what's the result? Well, you got to have surgery to fix the situation. Did say he's looking forward to a healthy 2021. Here was the tweet, and we'll show the picture as well. Injury update. I'm getting surgery today. I was hoping to recover enough to get back for the playoffs and or Super Bowl, but that didn't happen. It's time to address the issue. The recovery process isn't too long, which is nice. Looking forward to a healthy 2021. Hashtag Chiefs, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. Gave a little thumbs up as he was preparing for surgery there. So hopefully all is well. Obviously, when you kind of dive deep into this a little bit more, you kind of wonder, well, this feels like back surgery was last resort, which is obviously what it feels like and basically what he was saying, because he said that, again, in his post, he said, we were hoping it would heal and that I would be back, but that just did not happen. So, naturally, I'm going to ask you guys this question. How concerned are you with Mitchel Schwartz's back moving forward? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being, boom, this is going to be a piece of cake. No issues whatsoever. He'll be an all-pro again next season. 10 being, he's never the same guy and he's out of the league within 2 years. I'm at like a 7 or 8. I'm pretty concerned. You got a guy with back surgery after the age of 30. I've got concerns, so get your votes in. Scale it from 1 to 10. But to continue on this thought from me, I've got concerns. I've had concerns. I've made that pretty clear over the past couple of months. The back wasn't getting better. That's why he never returned. That's why now he's opting for surgery, because there's no other option. And for an offensive lineman, when the back starts to go, you got to wonder if it's ever going to come back. We've seen guys in the past, once the back starts to become a problem, they're just not the same guy after that. Now, could he have surgery and be 85-90% of the player he was? I think that's possible, but it's also possible he's a guy that's missing 3-4 games a year because the back tightens up on him. I got a few concerns here. Number one, he's going to be 32 in June. That's not a young player in the NFL, and now that he's got back issues, which have led to a back surgery, that concerns me as well. And on top of all that, while $10 million isn't a lot for healthy Mitchel Schwartz, and in fact it's a bargain when he's fully healthy and playing like an all-pro, it's not exactly cheap either, especially for a guy who, I think we have to be fair assessing this. There is some unknown for Mitchel Schwartz heading into this season. That's just a fact. If you think he's just going to have a piece of cake surgery and get through this and be fine, then he would have done that 3 months ago. But obviously they were holding out hope that that could not happen. But they had to opt for that route. This offensive line has a lot of moving parts. Both your centers are free agents. Colecchio Simile finished the season on IR, and he is a free agent. Both your tackles have major injury concerns. Eric Fisher with the torn Achilles, Mitchel Schwartz with the back, and they're both set to cost a combined $25 million against the cap this year as they enter the final year of their deals. Rembers is a free agent. Wiley, Steve Wisniewski, Daniel Kilgore, lots of free agents here, and question marks. Does a guy like Lucas Niang come back after not playing his rookie season? Can he be a starting tackle? I don't know if that can actually be the case. Now, obviously, if the surgery goes well, he says the recovery process isn't long. If all goes well, maybe he can get healthy and return to all-pro form. But again, even if the surgery goes well, that's going to be a lingering problem moving forward, in my opinion. Back surgeries are a big, big deal. I just think of guys like, remember Tony Romo with the Cowboys. Once the back started giving him problems, it was always a lingering problem. Tyron Smith with the Cowboys as well. He's good when he's out there, but how often is he out there? He misses quite a few games, and this will be something moving forward for Mitchel Schwartz that is going to be a talking point, because there will be times where that back tightens up and he misses games. So Just keep that in mind. Hopefully he gets back and he's back to the same player he was, but 32 years old, it's hard to envision him being peak Mitchel Schwartz. But what do you guys think? Can he get back to 100% Mitchel Schwartz peak form? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm going to say no, but if he's 85, 90% of that guy, that's still a very, very good right tackle. So get your votes in, Y for yes or N for no. Now, I told you guys we had some St. Patrick's gear on sale, Chiefs themed. You can get these t-shirts and several other styles as well at chatsports.com/ChiefsGreen. You got the short sleeve, the long sleeve, even got some socks in there as well. Plus, we have women's gear, women's tees. There's a women's hoodie available as well. Get your wife, get your daughter, get your mom, whatever you want. Or if any of you ladies are watching, get yourself a t-shirt as well. Chatsports.com/ChiefsGreen. My personal favorite item, I like this one. And guess what? All these items up to 25% off. It's a great, great deal. St. Patrick's Day just around the corner. So rep the Chiefs. Get your gear today at chatsports.com/ChiefsGreen. Speaking of the offensive line, how about signing Kelvin Beachum, a player we talked about in our Chiefs free agent targets video? Bleacher Report threw this idea out there. They did an article of one player every team should target in free agency, and they had Kelvin Beachum, the tackle who played with the Cardinals this past year. This makes sense, right? Like, this makes sense because, like I mentioned, both your tackles are major question marks moving forward when it comes to injuries, and Beachum's a veteran who knows how to play, and he only costed $1.2 million this past year. I don't think the market for him is going to be that huge. He's a plus tackle at this point in his career still. Not an all-pro by any means, but starting caliber, absolutely. Kansas City needs to sign a veteran tackle. I just think they need to. Ideally, Mitchel Schwartz Lucas Niang can come in and be one of your starting tackles, but you don't know that. You don't know that that's going to be the case. Kelvin Beachum, can be one of those guys that can play one of your tackle spots. Maybe he's your left tackle if Eric Fisher misses next season. Ideally, Mitchel Schwartz is your right tackle. Then maybe Lucas Niang becomes your swing tackle or competes for one of those starting guard positions as well with a Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, depending on how he plays, as he comes back from opting out to, last season due to COVID-19. I think signing Kelvin Beachum is smart. I think it's a good idea. I think the Chiefs need to bring a veteran who knows how to play at the tackle position just for security, if nothing else. Because, again, I'm not sold that Mitchel Schwartz is going to be the same guy, and I'm not sold Eric Fisher is going to play at all next year. Torn Achilles, going to be ready in 8 months? That seems like a long shot if you ask me. Should the Chiefs sign a tackle? Type S for sign, type P for pass. I think this is a no-brainer. I'm typing my S. Kansas City definitely needs to sign a tackle this offseason. Now, if they sign a tackle or if there's rumors around them signing one or trading for one or whatever, guess what? We're going to cover it. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV, because that's what we do. We cover the latest Chiefs news, rumors. We do weekly mailbags, videos basically every single day now because we continue to grow and we want to plug out more content for you. So subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. It's 100% free. Hit that big red button and share that link with a friend. It's YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. All right, let's address the wild rumor of the day, and that's trading for Allen Robinson. Arrowhead Live's headline was, Allen Robinson trade more realistic than you think? Actually, it's not. This is not realistic at all because the Chiefs are way over the projected cap right now. Let's just say, even if the cap gets up to $190 million, which it sounds like it's going to be less, but let's say it does, they're still $19 million over. They're at $209 million in allotted cap right now for 2021. So Kansas City's already going to have to make some contract restructures just to get to the cap number. And Arrowhead Live thinks that they can sign Allen Robinson, who would cost about $20 million per year. I just don't think there's any way that could happen. That's fake news. There's just no way this is going to happen. Sure, theoretically, could you clear $35-40 million in salaries by restructuring guys, cutting dudes, and extend some guys? Yeah, like literally it's possible, but that's just not very conceivable because then you're cutting like 3 or 4 critical players like a Tyrann Mathieu and both your tackles or something like that. I don't think that's a high likelihood. And by the way, the Bears are just going to tag Allen Robinson anyway. Now, they might tag and trade him, but they're not just going to let him go in free agency because that's bad business for Chicago, and that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Robinson costs too much. He's not going to become available via free agency. agency via trade, that's a different story, but I just think this is a ridiculous headline by Arrowhead Live. It's a bad take. He's not going to be available. Now, obviously the reason they wrote this up is because the Chiefs could use another wide receiver. Tyreek Hill, obviously you feel good there. McCole Hardman, question marks about if you think he can be a number 2 guy. I think you're okay if he's your number 3. But Watkins, Robinson, both free agents. I get that. The rest of these guys are just names for the most part outside of Byron Pringle. Maybe Antonio Callaway gives you something after signing him to a futures deal. But let's just get one thing straight. The Kansas City Chiefs are not getting Allen Robinson for a multitude of reasons, of which I have already mentioned. It's not realistic. They don't have the finances to do it, and Chicago's not just going to let him go. So Allen Robinson, pipe dream, but not going to happen for Kansas City. That being said, they will sign somebody, in my opinion, so name a receiver they should sign. Think lesser financial guys. Maybe a Corey Davis is within their price range. Maybe Will Fuller doesn't get the bag, although I think he will. There are guys you can go get, but you're not getting a top 10 wide receiver in Allen Robinson. So get your votes in. Who should Kansas City sign at the wide receiver position? If they do, we'll cover it here on the Chiefs Report.